Hello, it's Jeremy from Podiatry.
Hi, I'm Phil, also from Podiatry. Today we are going to tell you the worst things you can do when you have heel pain. So the first thing, I'll hand over to Jeremy. Jeremy, what's the first thing we want to say is really bad when you've got heel pain?
I reckon walking barefoot. If you have the current heel pain. Why is that?
Yeah,
it's a good question.
Good, thank you.
It's usually because what got you in the first place? Too much stress in that area. That stress could be from, we're walking on mainly flat surfaces, concrete, hard floors.
Very unnatural, isn't it, for a foot?
Yeah.
So if you've got heel pain and you're walking barefoot, I mean, I'm sure you'd find too, these people will come in and they'll say, oh, it hurts so much when I'm at home on the timber or on the tiles, that hard surface. Yeah. So, okay, so if we're going to tell people not to go barefoot, what's an easy way to change that?
Well, what have we got here?
What a coincidence.
It's an archy thong. So reason why I brought this up is because it's close to kind of barefoot, but it also gives you that support. As you can see, I don't know if you can kind of see that arch.
You can see that, yeah.
Over there.
Sure.
Yeah.
So instead of going barefoot, it's quite a convenient way, isn't it, Jeremy, to get something. You have them at home. As soon as you get home, get out of your work shoes, whatever, go straight into these, wear these around.
Yeah.
And I mean, that solves that problem.
Yeah.
It's not a complete solution to fix your heel pain, but
it's like a step above going barefoot.
You're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second thing we thought of is one of the worst things you can do when you have heel pain is to get a cortisone injection. Now, I'm not saying you should never get a cortisone injection, but if you have heel pain and you go and get a cortisone injection, the literature is actually really clear now on the risks of doing that and the benefits of doing it. So the benefit's actually quite small. A lot of people will get the cortisone injection and only get a very temporary relief in their pain. So 2 weeks, if you're lucky, you might get a few months, but at 3 months, about 90% of people have the same amount of pain they did just before they got the injection. So the benefits are a bit so-so. The risks are actually quite high. With one injection, the risk is of losing that thick padding layer under the heel of the fat pad. So we call that fat pad atrophy. That's a real risk that I've seen. And of infection, because it's an invasive procedure. Infection is quite rare, but that fat pad atrophy is I've seen it quite a few times. The risk of having more than one cortisone is actually rupturing of that tendon. So under here, this plantar fascia, you can actually tear and then you're in all sorts of trouble. So from that reason, a solo cortisone injection into your heel, not a great idea, I don't think. The third thing, Jeremy, do you want to explain this as being a really bad idea when you have heel pain?
Yeah, so like a lot of medical conditions, if you ignore it, it can potentially get worse.
Yeah.
Especially if the reasons that are causing it, if they're still existing, whether walking barefoot, doing the amount of level of exercise that you're doing, it's harder to recover something that's been around for longer, as opposed to if you've noticed it, it's best to come see us.
Get it fixed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true for every condition, but I know for heel pain, I've seen people who've ignored it for a month, 2 months, 6 months, 12 months, 5 years. I had a lady the other day, 5 years she's had this heel pain since she had her children. And that can happen because you're living a busy life, you're putting everyone else above you, particularly if you've got a family, or you're running around looking after everyone but yourself, and it hugely affects your life. So it's bad from that point of view. From a clinical point of view, what we actually see is when we see someone who's had pain for a long time, there's actually become a severe thickening of that tendon over time. So it's a fascia, it's sort of like a tendon, and it gets thicker and damaged, and that thickness is not good at all, because that indicates a permanent change in that tissue. The chance of getting, if you've had heel pain before, the chance of getting it another time is about 45%. So if you have it and it goes away, unless you've actually got a plan around that, so as soon as you increase your activity levels again, so if you stop doing something you like to do because your heel hurts and then the pain goes away, as soon as you start again, it's likely to come back. So every day we help people not only get rid of the pain, but actually get them back to living the life they want to live, whether that's doing the exercise and the you know, working the number of hours they need to work and just being as active as they want to be. So the reason why we're trying to give you guys that are watching this advice is because we want you to avoid doing these things, but come and see us so we can actually help you with the heel pain and get back on track. So if Jeremy, if they've been doing any of these things, if they've been ignoring it, if they've been going barefoot, or if they've been considering a cortisone injection, we say don't do them.
Yeah.
Come and see us instead. Would that be right?
Yep.
Yep. Do you like fixing heel pain?
Yeah.
Me too. I love it. It's so much fun. It's such a debilitating thing. So it's awesome. Generally, most people, when they've come in with heel pain of a few months, we can get them back out of pain within 2 to 4 weeks, back to normal. That's sort of a pretty standard thing. So don't put it off. If we can fix it, why don't we? Okay, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you again another day.
All right.
Bye.